No, but again, just keep your faith up that things will get better.
Did you watch the fight last weekend? Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fight?
I actually made a little bit of money on that fight. The odds were good in favor of Lopez. I analyzed the fight, and I kind of felt, that Lopez did have a big chance of winning. The way I kind of saw that fight coming around, I've seen Lomachenko, great footwork, working great angles, but he's always been able to show that against maybe weaker opposition, smaller fighters. The moment he stepped up against Linares, he had a little bit of difficulties with Linares, being, experienced and a terrific fighter. So I felt like if other guys have, in a way, hit Lomachenko, still tag him up, get him bruised up, then Teofimo, being the younger, bigger, stronger guy, he should definitely have a chance. So I put a little bit of money. I was rooting for Lopez, and he did exactly what I expected. Use the size, use the speed, and just overpower Lomachenko. Lomachenko is a smaller fighter naturally, and I think that's where Lopez was able to capitalize and benefit the most. We saw a star being born, with Lomachenko, taking the loss. Teofimo takes that spot, takes that moment, does everything well. I did have the scorecards a little closer. I think Lomachenko might have won maybe 3 or 4 rounds, but I saw Lopez dominate the entire night. So congratulations to Lopez. He did great. He's definitely shown that he's one of the best, in the moment. And I think he's gonna do great things, coming, because he showed it against the best guy at the moment, with Lomachenko.
Mikey Garcia says that he made money on Teofimo Lopez because he felt Lomachenko had beaten a lot of smaller guys and smaller fighters. We're going to talk about that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It does help the channel in a phenomenal way when you guys click on that ESPN Plus link. Shout out to everyone who has ESPN Plus. They have a ton of original content, docuseries, documentaries, archive fights of UFC and boxing for your viewing pleasure. You can get ESPN Plus as a standalone app, or you can bundle it and get 3 apps: ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 of those apps for one price, $12.99. Click on my link. Again, this does help the channel continue to grow, stay independent, stay creative, and, keep trucking. Now, Mikey Garcia, he did an interview with TV Azteca. He was at the fight with Chocolatito in Mexico, and Mikey said he won some money betting on Teofimo. He said, and I'll give you the quote so I don't have to paraphrase. This is what he says, quote, "I felt that Teofimo Lopez had a great chance, or a good chance, of winning. The way I saw the fight coming around, I've seen Lomachenko work great angles, but he's always been able to show that against weaker opposition and smaller fighters. The moment he stepped up against Linares, he had a little bit of difficulties with Linares and his experience, and he's a terrific fighter. So I felt if the other guys were able to hit Lomachenko, tag him up, and get him bruised up, then Teofimo Lopez, being the younger, bigger, stronger guy, he should definitely have a chance. And I was rooting for Lopez, and he did exactly what I expected him to do, using his size, using the speed, and overpower Lomachenko. Lomachenko is the smaller fighter naturally, and I think there's where Lopez could capitalize, and he benefited the most. We saw a star in Teofimo Lopez being born, Lomachenko taking his loss. Teofimo takes that spot, takes that moment, and he does everything well. I did have the scorecards a little bit closer. I think Lomachenko may have won 3 or 4 rounds, but I saw Lopez dominate the entire night, so congratulations to Lopez. He did great. He's definitely shown he's one of the best at the moment, and I think he's going to do great things. He showed that against the best guy at the moment with Lomachenko, he has shown that. So, my thoughts. first of all, right after Mikey said all of that, the WBC chimes in and throws out this Lomachenko shoulder surgery garbage, saying, oh yeah, we send our regards. So Lomachenko just lost in an embarrassing fashion in a fight that he needed to win. And the first thing out of the WBC's mouth is, oh, we wish Lomachenko well. And I'm not saying you can't wish him a speedy recovery, but you don't have nothing to say about Teofimo. It's just all about how Lomachenko went through surgery and pushing that narrative. Man, nobody cares. You signed up for the fight. You said you were 100%. Other fighters have fought with broken jaws. Muhammad Ali, Cotto, broken hands, Deontay Wilder. And for whatever reason, the WBC is trying to show all this bias and sympathy towards Lomachenko because he lost. Now, back to my thoughts and commenting on Mikey Garcia. I think Lomachenko, this is just a fall from grace that we see when old media puts a fighter on a pedestal like they're Pegasus and they're this mythical creature, unicorn, and they're just regular good fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is no slight on Lomachenko. He's a good fighter. As an amateur, he's achieved great things that people train their whole life to try to achieve and attain. I get that. But people kept throwing up Lomachenko's 2 gold medals in this amateur record. I kept telling you guys on my channel that none of that matters, because at the end of the day, it's two guys punching each other. The great Mike Tyson once said, everybody got a plan till they get punched in the face. Like, that's one of the realest statements. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face. So it's like, nobody's worried if it's fight or flight, do or die, life and death, which these fights could end up and result in. We just seen a dude, Matthias Sabriel or whatever, just get a knockout again, and he actually killed a person, unfortunately, in his fight. And it took him, he took a loss after that, but he looked back to his old ways, and that stuff haunts you. If you accidentally kill somebody in the ring, and rest in peace to Maxim Dadashev, but it's hard to swallow. You're trying to be a competitor. You're not necessarily trying to take somebody from their family, you know what I mean? So boxing is a brutal sport. The bottom line is Lomachenko I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He was propped up. He was supposed to be this and that, and I agree with Mikey Garcia. He fought and dominated a lot of smaller guys. Like when he was at featherweight, he was clearly bigger than a lot of his opponents. He was bigger than Gary Russell. The only person that was probably like kind of eye to eye with him in terms of size and had power was Nicholas Walters. But again, top rank in the clever matchmaking. Nicholas Walters had gained a lot of weight in his offseason. They lowballed him in the summer. They were supposed to fight in the summer, and he was coming off of a draw. He didn't have a lot of momentum. He had to probably do a fat camp because he had gained weight. I made videos about this. This is how long I've been in the game. Ego Weight Watchers. I made an Ego Weight Watchers video, and I'll try to pull up the picture. Nicholas Walters blew up in his offseason because he wasn't fighting. Top Rank gave him no fights. He was coming off of a draw. So they starved him out. The Lomachenko summer fight toppled out, and they end up fighting in November, and Walters end up taking less money than what he was originally asking for. So that goes to show you that he probably needed the money. So when Lomachenko ended up frustrating him and he just quit, and then he pretty much retired, I don't think he's ever come back to fight. It's not really surprising. This was set up. Like, it's like they knew he was going to retire, and he just cashed out. So that became the birth of Lomachenko or whatever they were saying. You know what I mean? But like Mikey's saying, he didn't do that to anybody like a Teofimo, somebody who's big, strong, can box. He didn't do that. He didn't fight certain guys. Like, if he made Miguel Berchelt quit, I'll give him props, because Berchelt big as hell. Berchelt is big, and he's strong, and he's Mexican, and he's a combination puncher, which is some of the same formula that already beat Lomachenko in Orlando Salido. Difference being from Salido is Berchelt is younger, he's bigger, he's probably stronger, and he's just as nasty. He has that mean streak to him. But Lomachenko was at 130. Berchelt was with Top Rank at 130. They were both champions. Lomachenko moved up to 135 and started fighting Pedraza, a guy Tank knocked out. You know, he started fighting guys like Anthony Corolla, who had been beaten a couple of times. He fought Linares, who mentally folds, you know what I'm saying, in fights. DeMarco fight, lost his very next fight after. I mean, that's not impressive. So if I told you on my channel, I am a man of my word. If Lomachenko would have dominated, or Nomaschenko or whatever they were calling him, if he did that to Teofimo, I would have given Lomachenko all the props in the world because I got to see it. I need to see it. So that would have showed me something, you know? As long as it didn't look cap, I would have given him props. But guess what? I don't have to give him props for that because that's not the outcome of the fight. I live in the real world. So I agree with Mikey Garcia. You know, that's another, it's funny that the person saying this and agreeing with me, because I've already stated this on my videos that Lomachenko was fighting guys that are small. Look at Rigondeaux, bro. Rigondeaux just told you he could make 115, 118, and he fought Loma at 130. You know, that's like they're telling Lomachenko, just listen how the different strokes for different folks, and when you have the complexion for the protection. Now that Lomachenko lost one fight, everybody's begging and pleading and urging him to go down in weight. But when Rigondeaux, he moved up to 130 and had to fight the bigger person. You see what I'm saying? So instead of people saying, Lomachenko, fight at 140, 147, challenge yourself, you know, get some redemption, you know, they're not even telling. They're just creating this safe haven for a witness protection program, just like the franchise built for Lomachenko, for him to safely go back down because, you know, oh, that was too much. They're trying to coddle Lomachenko. I'm not doing that on my channel. He's a good fighter, but I'm not going to coddle him. If he was what he was billed as, pound for pound #1, then at the first sign of danger, why are you moving back down in weight? Why are people begging you to do that? So people can't, in their heart of all hearts, really believe he was #1 pound for pound. Listen to the name, pound for pound. If he was really pound for pound, why are you not urging him to stay up there and, you know, fight the Devin Haney's, try to get a rematch if Teofimo will allow it, fight the Ryan Garcia? They saying here's an escape route, witness protection style. Let's just change your identity and move you back down. But when Floyd Mayweather had a tough ass fight with Marcos Maidana, nobody told him to move back down in weight. And we know Floyd is little, and we know Floyd was smaller than Maidana. But what we also know is Floyd is literally and realistically that good. So they know he can beat Maidana. That's why some people, they said Maidana won, but they didn't want to see the rematch because they knew Floyd was going to win the rematch. Once he got that data on you, it's going to be hard to beat him in the rematch. You see what I'm saying? So we know Floyd is small for 47. Sometimes at his fight, the night of the fight, he weighing 148, 150, 151. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford weighed more than that when he was at lightweight when he fought Gamboa. He rehydrated to 155 as a lightweight. So we know Floyd stays pretty true to his actual walking around weight, and he's not one of those guys that just balloon up to, you know, 167 or anything. You know what I mean? And Lomachenko, they're trying to create this guided path. I agree with Mikey Garcia. Most of what he said as far as Lomachenko, he did that against weaker opposition and smaller guys. If you know, you know. How is it that Ego Stradamus strikes again? Every time I say these things on my channel, you know, you have the naysayers who say, oh, you're just hating, you're a hater, you don't know what you're talking about. But then you have professional boxers, great fighters, once beaten Mikey Garcia, and he's saying the same thing that I said after me. So I must know a little something about something. So the thing I disagree with Mikey Garcia about is he said Lopez used his size, yada, 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 to overpower Lomachenko. I didn't see that. What I seen personally was he has size and strength, but he outboxed Lomachenko, and his strength kept Lomachenko honest. That's what I seen. We have to be very cautious with our boxing commentary because any subtle change of words means something different. So when you say Mikey Garcia tells the audience that Lopez used his size well and he overpowered Lomachenko, that's not really what happened from my view, because it wasn't the size of Lopez, it was the ring IQ mixed with the strength. You know, it wasn't just sheer size. Like he wasn't fighting like Tyson Fury tried to fight Wilder or Steve Cunningham. When Tyson Fury is fighting Steve Cunningham, he's leaning on him, wearing on him, waning on him, grinding on him, putting his weight on him, you know, trying to rough him up, punching him in the shoulders. And that's taxing in boxing. You know, Klitschko did it as well, where he's like using his size against Alex Lepai and Alexander Povetkin and these different various smaller fighters, Kubrat Pulev, and that becomes muscling around a 6'6" Klitschko, him leaning on you and putting his body weight. That's a lot. You know, he's moving you around. Teofimo wasn't even really using his size because he was boxing, so he wasn't like in the clinch excessively. If anything, the dirty tactics came from Lomachenko. He was shooting dirty shots and stuff like that. So I think that's a small correction to what Mikey was saying. I don't really think Teofimo overpowered. I think he's just strong. But when you say overpower, I immediately think that you're kind of using like weight bully and using your size. And that's not what Teofimo did. Lomachenko was hesitant because of the good countering and the great jab and that volume of punches. He couldn't get on the inside, and he has power, so that kept Lomachenko honest. But it wasn't really him using his size, because if he would have used his size, he would have just walked Lomachenko down for the first 7 rounds. That's not what he did. He kind of did that in the 12th round, but he just varied it and mixed it up. Let me know what you guys think. Mikey agrees with Ego. I'm the legend. I'm the GOAT when it comes to this boxing talk. He says the same thing that I've been telling you. Loma fought weaker opposition, clever matchmaking. He was in there with somebody real bigger. That's why Mikey and myself earned money on fight night, because you guys hyped it up to something that it wasn't. Mikey said he put money on Lopez. Good show. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working. More intense.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.